A recent paper reveals that some Chinese EV manufacturers are taking longer to pay their suppliers. Is this a sign of troubles in the Chinese EV sector? Let's find out. The delay in payments has raised concerns about the financial health of these companies and the overall stability of the EV sector in China. Let's look closely into the numbers. The report indicates that NIO, a prominent Chinese EV maker, took an average of 295 days to settle its bills with suppliers in 2023. This is a staggering increase compared to just 2 years ago, when the average wait time was only 197 days. Similarly, another player, XPeng, saw its payment turnaround time climb from 179 days in 2021 to 221 days in 2023. These figures are particularly worrisome when compared to established auto giants like Tesla. The report highlights that Tesla maintains a payment cycle of around 101 days, a figure that has remained relatively stable over the past few years. This sharp contrast between Chinese EV startups and a well-established automaker raises questions about the financial management practices of the former. Experts suggest that a longer payment cycle can be a sign of cash flow problems. When a company takes a significantly longer time to pay its bills, it could indicate a struggle to generate enough revenue to cover its operating costs. Understanding the reasons behind these delays is crucial. The report suggests that factors like slowing sales growth and increasing competition within the Chinese EV market could be playing a role. Additionally, the phasing out of government subsidies of EV purchases in 2021 might have put further pressure on the finances of these companies. Why the delay? Well, there are a few reasons this might be happening. China's economic growth, once a global powerhouse, has shown signs of moderation in recent years. In 2023, the International Monetary Fund projected China's GDP growth to be around 5.2%, a significant decrease compared to the double-digit growth rates witnessed earlier. This slowdown has a ripple effect, impacting consumer confidence and spending habits. As China's economic growth dips, consumer confidence weakens. People tend to tighten their purse strings when uncertain about the future, and discretionary purchases like EVs are often the first to be put on hold. This translates into a slower sales growth for EV companies, further straining their cash flow. Also in 2022, China phased out the generous subsidies it had been offering to incentivize EV purchases. These subsidies significantly brought down the upfront cost of electric vehicles, making them more accessible to a wider range of consumers. Without these subsidies, car companies have been forced to lower their prices to stay competitive. In a bid to maintain market share in the face of declining subsidies, Chinese EV manufacturers have been locked in a fierce price war. This has resulted in lower selling prices for electric cars, but it also has squeezed profits margins for the companies. With thinner profits, it becomes harder for them to generate enough cash to settle supplier bills promptly. The delayed payments can create a domino effect throughout the EV supply chain. Suppliers who don't receive timely payments might face their own cash flow issues, impacting their ability to invest in production or meet deadlines for future deliveries. This disruption in the supply chain can further stall EV production and hinder the overall growth of the industry. These factors paint a complex picture of the challenges faced by Chinese EV sector. While the long-term potential of the market remains promising, addressing these immediate financial hurdles will be crucial for Chinese EV companies to regain momentum and ensure the continued growth of the industry. Who's feeling the pinch? The suppliers, of course. These are the companies that build the parts that go into these electric vehicles. If they're not getting paid promptly, it can really hurt their cash flow. Some might even be forced to shut down, which could lead to production problems for the car companies down the line. So is this a big deal? It's definitely something to keep an eye on. A healthy EV industry needs a healthy supply chain behind it. If suppliers start dropping out, it could slow down production and make it harder for these Chinese EV companies to compete. But wait, isn't China still a major player in EVs? Absolutely, China is still a huge force in the electric vehicle market. Companies like BYD are still growing rapidly and giving Tesla a run for its money. This report just highlights some of the challenges they're facing right now. So what's the takeaway? The Chinese EV industry is going through a bit of a rough patch. Slower economic growth, price wars, and longer payment times are putting a strain on the system. But China is a resourceful country with a lot of innovation happening in the EV space. It'll be interesting to see how they navigate these challenges and what the future holds for Chinese electric vehicles. What do you guys think? Is this a temporary bump in the road or something more serious? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And be sure to like and subscribe for more videos on all things tech and innovation.